who are, let's use Wazobia. Let's use Wazobia for an example. Your Olokpa, the police, are superheroes. They are protecting the supermen, the superior men, the aristocrats, the elites. That's who they protect. They don't protect you. And I know they don't protect you. And you say, if you know, say they know they protect you. Because the only person that can protect you is a supervillain. Because only a villain knows what a villain is going through. Only a peasant knows what a peasant is going through. And hence, you see what I'm saying? You need a supervillain. You need a villain hero. A hero of the peasants. A protector of the peasants. You see, aren't you surprised that superhero in no way whatsoever translates to protector of the weak? Because I don't know in what world the word super, meaning superior, means lowborn. The villain is the one that's lowborn. You see, before the Europeans had the black man to look down on, they had their serfs, they had their peasants. And just as they referred to us as Negroes, as nigger, they referred to their peasants as villains. Because the word villain is of old, or let me say ancient French, old French origin. Villa, farm. Villain, farmhand. Peasant, tiller of the soil. One who works on a plantation. That is what a villain is, my friends. That is the origin of the word. You see, don't look for the definition. Yo, definitions are the most misleading things in the world. You understand? You look for the origin of the word. Because when you find the origin, you have gained the genori, the wisdom. Do you understand? If you understand, let me hear you say, See me, I did drop Chris Okolte. If you understand, let me hear you say, Hey. I be bad guy. I'm a villain, baby. Born in a manger somewhere in Ajegunle. I'm a villain, baby. That's why I call myself a villain, baby. Because I've been known what I am. This is ancient GennyMan knowledge. This ain't new shit. It's new to you, but it ain't new to me. I've been known this. Like, yo, see, where I come from here, I misguidedly used to believe that when I leave my country, you know, I won't lie. I'm a very truthful person. At least I try my best to be. You know, there was so much ignorance in my country. You know, and I believe that the people who provided us this TV, you know, the people who did this, did that, did this, would have been enlightened. You know, that was my belief. I graduated secondary school in Nigeria. And when I first moved to Ireland, I was made back to go to secondary school again. But I started off in the second term of fifth year, fifth class, whatever they would call it. And I was asked a certain question in higher level English, you know. I think it was relating to either The Great Gatsby or the story of King Lear, one of those two. And I basically, I basically gave a dissection of what I believed was meant by that particular line in the book. And the teacher and the students looked at me in confusion. Then I started to ask myself, where is this superiority I heard so much about? Then I started to go down through history. I realized the framework of what is known as the internet today, that's a black man. The street lights, that's a black man. The radiator, the thing that provides heat in most houses, that's a black man. Then I realized why they hate us so much. Because you go to the Bible, look for a very particular story. Joseph the dreamer, and his coat of many colors, which caused his brothers to hate him. Because lo and behold, these colorless M&Ms are still our brothers. And they keep selling us for shillings. Why? It is it is a deep sense of jealousy and hatred. For the mind that just keeps giving. Do you know what it means to be this? Sometimes I just be sitting down and like random shit just come to my head, bros. What they had, you see, do you know why writing and books exist? I'm gonna tell you something. They came to us, to understand our ways, our philosophies, our science. And it was hard for us to explain it to them, and we had to come up with these elaborate ways to explain these stories that always had 12 and a 13th. I will not say more than that because I really don't like to go into religious conversations, but I like to use a lot of the esoteric parts of Christianity because that is one of my first knowledges. I can't avoid it. And I try my best not to, because even within that book, I found the ways of my people. Because I've had a lot of discussions that made me realize, the people who took away from us are very literal people. They're not men of many words. And when I say men of many words, you see, there's a reason why they had to have these literal devices and stuff like that, because they had to teach what was instinctual for us. You see, the African man doesn't need a book to teach him idioms, alliteration, and all these type of things. You see, those things, those poems, those sayings come to us from where? We do not know, but it is part of us. And the first ones who came to us to gain knowledge, the philosophers, as they are known, the artists, the intelligentsia of old, went back to their land and Now that is where you really have the story of Joseph, the dreamer. Because we had enlightened these men. We had brought them gnosis. And they went back to teach their people. But the people who were the angriest about it were the aristocrats. Because I would say, let me say the royal, those of royal birth, the royalty, the elites, let's call them that. No, do too much, Yan. So the elites who believe themselves to be above all, to speak for God himself, did not have this knowledge and felt inferior. So they brought in these people, tortured them, took their knowledge, created what is known as Christianity from that knowledge. And then, with the banner of Christianity, murdered them and waged a war with this same Christianity against my people. And I need to laugh, because if I don't laugh waged a war against my people. Why? To propagate this new knowledge that they hid from their people, that they got from us. Even their peasants are not to blame. See, the difference between, you see, the word king, it has two meanings in two different places. For what I would refer to as old Europe, a king, is more of a manager of the peasants. What basically our politicians are today is what kings were then. And they would